The second part of Trinity War continues in the pages of Justice League of America number 6. In the previous issue, Superman killed Dr. Light and the two Justice Leagues descended into chaos. A giant melee breaks out with heroes battling heroes. Characters on both sides of the conflict find it hard to believe that Superman would willingly kill Dr. Light. Even Superman himself is shocked. Furthermore, his powers seem to be on the fritz. He can't control them. With one massive blow, Superman pounds the ground and sends everyone flying. He ends the skirmish and tells the Justice League of America to take him into custody. The guilt of killing a man is crushing him. He decides he must face justice. Both leagues then head to Argus. The assortment of heroes mingle while they attend to their injuries. In lockdown, Superman is being contained in a unit built specifically for him. Batman is with him and is astounded. He sees that a weakened Superman is actually sick. Wonder Woman then enters and tries to uncover what caused Superman to kill Dr. Light. She doesn't believe the man she loves would willingly kill. Wonder Woman attributes Superman's behavior to their encounter with Pandora in the last issue. Batman disagrees, stating that the answer will be found in science, not myth. Determined to uncover the truth behind Pandora's box, Wonder Woman flies off to meet with Hephaestus, the smith of the gods. She asks him if he was the one who created Pandora's box. Compelled by the lasso of truth, he tells her that he did not create it. He says that the box is not only older than the gods, but also more powerful. Even Zeus feared it. As Wonder Woman leaves, he also tells her that she should simply destroy the box if she encounters it again. With the myth of Pandora's box being a dead end, Wonder Woman decides there is only one other avenue that would explain Superman's actions: magic. She meets up with Constantine and the Justice League Dark. They are already looking into Madame Xanadu's apparent death in the previous issue. Although Constantine initially thinks Wonder Woman is looking to arrest him, she is actually there to ask for his help. Back at Argus, Steve Trevor walks into the room holding Superman. He begins to release him and explains that he wants to help, that Superman isn't a killer. As the issue ends, we see that it really isn't Steve Trevor. It is actually the Question in disguise.
So the Question, one of the members of the Trinity of Sin, is really searching for what this evil is.
Yeah, the evil behind the evil is what he calls it. What do you think of this?
Well, there's two ways of looking at this. And I think what's important is to look at what the first evil is. So either the first evil he's referring to is the evil inside Superman, and then behind him would be possibly the Society of Evil.
Right, but there could be also evil even behind that, right?
Exactly. So the first evil that he's talking to already could be the Society, and behind that evil is something greater. And that, I think, is probably the better question to be asking. There's a lot of possibilities. It could be any other primordial being, and magic's in play, so it really is a mystery.
Before we jump into Wonder Woman, though, let's look at the beginning of this issue, and it's what Trinity War is all about. Justice League versus Justice League of America. Superman has killed Dr. Light. All hell is breaking loose. What'd you think of this fight?
Man, I was actually pretty disappointed by it because they end it really quickly. It just seems that what we expected sort of happens. All of the Justice League of America is incredibly inexperienced. It's kind of a letdown.
I also kind of wish, maybe there would have been more casualties, I guess you'd say. I mean, nobody was knocked out. I guess there were some broken bones and some hurt feelings.
Everyone was still very reluctant, and everyone still just couldn't believe, whoa, Superman killed someone.
Well, what actually ends this fight is Superman saying, "Take me in, put me under arrest," and he pounds the ground, and it just shoots everybody in the air. I didn't like it mainly from an art perspective. I feel like with that giant 2-page spread, you should really be able to demonstrate the power that is Superman. I just don't think Doug Mahnke did that. I wish it maybe would have been a top-down view and we would have seen the earth fracturing apart or something. But instead we just get to see a bunch of superheroes being tossed in the air.
Yeah, I completely agree. When I first looked at that panel, I understood what was happening, but I was a little confused at the dynamics of how Superman was causing this, or, is everyone really falling down, or is this just still battle going on? Because sometimes you can't really tell when they're just staged combat,
I really just felt this could have been the defining art piece of Trinity War in general. We know Doug Mahnke can do that. If you look at Green Lantern number 20, there were some really epic scenes in that, and this just didn't come across as epic as it should have been.
I think this whole issue kind of suffered from that. After the first issue, which was just really great buildup of tension, there's going to be conflict. And in this one, it's just all sort of, just they're all in like a lobby, you know, all just talking pretty much.
Yeah, so after the fight, they'll go hang out together at Argus.
It actually reminded me a lot of the scenes where you see in Marvel where they're all just hanging out in Avengers Tower.
But the Avengers never invite Hydra over to Avengers Tower when all's said and done.
That's true.
There were some funny moments. I really like how Shazam was basically like, hey, can I just take off? Because I'm not really a part of either of you.
The moment I thought that was interesting was Waller and Trevor's conversation, where Trevor sort of says, did you have something to do with Light being killed? And Waller doesn't say no. She says, how could I have?
I know in our last review, I kind of speculated saying maybe Amanda Waller is actually playing for the bad guys, but I thought she came across as genuinely shocked this time. So I don't think she's bad, but you don't seem convinced.
I don't know. I thought that was a perfect time to just say, no, of course not. But I guess this could just be a classic red herring.
Of course, the most important person at this Argus base is Superman, and he's like captured and also apparently sick.
I found it kind of funny because if he is sick, his eye blast is almost like a sneeze that killed Dr. Light, you know? This is a brand new thing for everyone, and no one really knows what this means, but there's a lot of theories out there. And that's what the next storyline seemed to be revolving around. After last issue, it seemed that there's two main possibilities for why Superman killed Dr. Light. One, it had something to do with Pandora'S box infecting him with something, or two, it was Dr. Light's own absorption power that caused himself to basically overload.
It's like science versus myth.
Exactly. And in this issue, a new one is inserted, which is magic.
Which is Wonder Woman's doing. She has a lot to do with it. First, let's look at science, though. Obviously, Batman says this whole Pandora's box is ridiculous. He goes, 7 deadly sins don't make people evil. People are just inherently evil. And he's got Cyborg in there doing autopsies, trying to figure things out.
I think it's going to be a dead end. That's what seems to be the indication, especially because
Batman's going to come up empty? Is that what you're saying right now?
I think, he's a detective. You always end up with dead ends somewhere, and he's going to find something else. And you got to get the Justice League Dark involved somehow. If there's not a magic-related mystery, I mean, it doesn't make that much sense that they're going to be involved.
Jumping back to Wonder Woman, though, she first investigates this whole myth theory.
Yeah, she goes and visits Hephaestus, who's the smith, and supposedly he was the one to create Pandora'S box, but he says he actually wasn't.
I kind of like how it was a nice nod to the Wonder Woman series in the DC Universe.
Yeah, the Wonder Woman series, which is great, by the way, it seems to be off in its own world. Like, it doesn't seem to be very related to what's going on.
Never connects to anything else.
Exactly. The fact that they have even, a glimmer of some connection is great.
But even Hephaestus seems generally scared by the box. He says even the gods of Olympus can't control it. Zeus tried. He and others used Pandora to open it. And then he also suggests that once Wonder Woman finds the box, that she simply destroy it.
So after talking to Hephaestus, she realizes myth is a dead end, and so she turns to magic, and that's when we see the Justice League Dark really make an appearance.
Right, that she's asking Constantine and his gang for help, because she figures magic's what caused Superman to kill Dr. Light, and she's got to clear his name. But I don't really think that they needed Wonder Woman to drag the Justice League Dark in, because Madame Xanadu died in the last issue, and there was almost no reference to that at all. I guess they're investigating it when
they're
she shows
investigating.
up.
I think they needed to be dragged into it because just because Madame Xanadu died doesn't mean that they're instantly going to say this is connected to the two Justice Leagues conflict. Until the Secret Society sort of reveals themselves, that's when maybe everything will become more connected than it is. What I'm wondering is, why would the Constantine just be like, okay, yeah, I'll just go help you. Let's not care about this, my team member that just died. Your problem is clearly bigger than mine.
Constantine's always playing an angle. He's probably... Zatanna's in tight with the Justice League right now, so he's probably already got the inside track.
Maybe.
But Justice League Dark kind of brings in that third possibility you were talking about, magic, which seems to be what Trinity War is all about. So I'm guessing magic is what maybe caused Superman to kill Dr. Light. And Vibe also had a curious comment in this when he was trying to disrupt Flash's connection to the Speed Force. He goes, "Oh, there's some other force at work here."
There's just a lot of mystical stuff and a lot of it shrouded in mystery. And that's actually what I like about Trinity War so far, is that it is a mystery and it's not just superheroes beating the crap out of each other.
Well, before we jump into part 3 with Justice League Dark next week, what would you give Justice League of America number 6 as a grade?
I'd give this issue a 3 out of 5. The series builds more on the mystery, but there's a noticeable lack of tension or anticipation at the moment. I think the momentum from the opening arc was pretty much killed, or at least really slowed down by this second issue. But doesn't mean that the entire series can't be good.
I'm also going to give it a 3. You're spot on with the fact that the momentum of the series was just kind of stalled. The series was billed as a fight between the Justice Leagues, and the fight in this issue was extremely lacking. The big reveal of the last issue was the Outsider, and he's almost nowhere to be seen in this issue. So hopefully part 3 is better.
Thanks for watching B3 Comics' review of Trinity War Part 2, Justice League of America number 6. Before we go, we have a question for you.
In this issue, the question is looking for the answer to the question, who's the evil behind the evil? Who do you guys think it is?
I think it'd be cooler if this series connected even more of the DC Universe, and I'd like to see Trigon actually involved.
Personally, I think it would be kind of cool if it went more cosmic. We've already seen Orion and the New Gods, and I remember during Grant Morrison's JLA run, he introduced the old gods and their primordial weapons. Leave your own answers in the comments below, though, and thanks for watching.